to my channel. My name is Christian, and in today's video I am going to be taking out everything in my pantry and reorganizing it, restocking it, and making some snacks for scratch that would go in the pantry for my family. So I did not realize how much stuff we had in the pantry until I started taking everything out. But I really like to have an organized space, so this is something that really needed to be done. I'm going ahead and doing that, and later I will be restocking what I need, and I will show you what I'm going to be making later. Here I'm just getting rid of everything that I don't need and what I'm going to be keeping, so just kind of going through all of that, and I just found the best way was just to pull everything out, put it on the table, and visualize what I have and what I don't need anymore or what has expired. So yes, it has been a while since I have organized this pantry. And this right here is my kids' little snack basket, so I just use this basket to store mostly their gummies or just things that I can just have on the go. And mostly I use those snacks for when we go to church. My children sit with us in the pews, so I like to have them a snack that they can just easily eat and have ready to go when we go to church. And then this little basket right here is where I keep all of my onions and garlic. I find that having baskets, containers, or even mason jars are just the best way for me to organize. I have gotten these as gifts for Christmas when people are like, what do you want for Christmas? And here I am as an adult, I'm like, oh, containers, I want organization stuff. So anyways, that has been really helpful. This container right here used to be for our rice. However, we've been buying really big bulk rice bags from Costco recently. So I went ahead and made this my sugar container because I really didn't have one, surprisingly. So for how much I bake, I didn't. I really need to figure out how I can store my rice. I'm thinking some type of like bigger bucket or something on those kind of lines to store my rice, because right now it's just at the bottom of my pantry in its original bag with a clothespin holding it together. I got this huge gallon-sized jar for like $2 at the thrift store, and so I am using that for my rolled oats, and I was going to use it for our raw meal pickups, but I just figured I needed a place for my oats too, so I am going to use that. And then now I'm just restocking our flour. I use a lot of flour, and I just found this 2-pack at Costco was so worth the price compared to getting one in the regular store like Kroger or Publix or wherever you are to shop. So buying in bulk has just saved us a ton of money. And then of course we have some chocolate chips for all of our little snacks that we like to make, so I am restocking that. I probably need to get some more of that as well. Restocking my salt here, and now I'm about to go through all of my canned goods and reorganize that as well. Organizing my spices is something that I've been wanting to do for a while now. I am one of those people who just looks into my pantry and I'm like, where is the garlic powder? And it takes me forever to find the garlic powder. I'll even bring in my husband and be like, can you please find the garlic powder for me, because I have looked and I can't find it. So this is going to make my life so much easier when I am just cooking for my family, just being more organized, and I'm really excited about these. So I've had them for a little bit now, and I finally had the time to get this done, and I'm already loving it, and has made such a difference when I am trying to find the spice that I need for a specific meal. I also really love that this comes with a front label and a top label, so depending on how you store your spices, like I'm just storing mine right on the bottom rack, just like this. I'm able to see just the front row of the front, but I can also read the top if I'm having a hard time trying to find it. So that's why I really love that. Now that I got everything organized and all of my bulk items restocked, I'm now going to be making some homemade cereal from scratch. I've really just loved making these, mainly because it's just an easy option for a snack or breakfast for my kids, as well as they can just have these at church on a Sunday, just a grab and go kind of snack. So I'm going to restock some homemade cinnamon crunch cereal for our pantry. I have made this cereal several times before, and Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal is one of our favorites in this house, so that is what I'm making. I would actually really love to try like a peanut butter crunch cereal. That was my favorite growing up, so I actually might give that a try next time. However, for this recipe, I used 2½ cups of all-purpose flour, and then I added in 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 4 tablespoons of sugar. I use cane sugar, but you can also use maple syrup or honey. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then you're going to add in about 8 to 10 tablespoons of cold water, and that just depends on, you're just adding in 1 to 2 tablespoons at a time, because it just depends on your dough and if it's forming into a ball or not. After that, I rolled it out and then I transferred it to some parchment paper. This recipe is from 1898mama.com, and I actually really did like this recipe. I tried several others and this one was pretty good, so I might continue to use this one when I'm making the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. For the topping here, I just brushed 4 tablespoons of melted butter on top, and then in a bowl I mixed in 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, and gave that a big mix, and topped the dough with that cinnamon sugar topping. And I went ahead and used a pizza cutter and cut them into small squares. The recipe actually says to do that later on in your cooking, but I just find that it doesn't really matter. So I went ahead and did that. I then baked that on 350 for about 30 minutes or until golden brown. And then I am going to put it in my little cereal container to add to our pantry. It is actually the next day. That is all I had time for yesterday when I was cleaning, organizing, and restocking my pantry. But today I'm going to be restocking some granola. So I'm making some of our homemade granola. This will be on my blog. And this is going to be something that I actually restock on a regular basis because I like to have them just for a snack or in my yogurt or something like that. So, and my kids really love it. So for this recipe, I'm adding 3 cups of rolled oats to a large bowl, and then I added in 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon. You can also add in whatever toppings you want, whether that's walnuts, pecans. I like to add in cranberries and as well as coconut flakes to my granola, but you can add whatever you want. Then I added in 1/3 cup of maple syrup, 1/3 cup of butter, or you can use coconut oil melted, and then 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Grab a sheet pan, add some parchment paper, and then pour in your granola. I'm using 2 small sheet pans because one, I couldn't find my other pans. They're in use somewhere else, aka the freezer. So anyways, I'm adding in my granola, and you just want to make sure that it's all close together and packed nicely because you really don't want loose oats anywhere. And that is because if you have it all loose, when you take it out of the oven, it's not going to crumble like you want it to. So you really want to make sure that it's nice and close and packed in together. Then I'm going to bake that on 300 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes or until golden brown. It smells so good, and it's just honestly a good staple for your pantry. I really love this granola recipe because I like how the granola kind of just breaks apart into clusters. So this is just my go-to granola and what we use in the pantry on a weekly basis. So I'm also adding a label to my granola jar, as well as I'm adding a label to our rolled oats jar. Now my pantry is organized, restocked, and there are some things that I need to get more of after I cleaned it out and could see what else I still needed. However, I love that I can see everything and have easy access to it. But anyways, that is the end of today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please subscribe and give this video a like, and I'll see you next week. Bye!